Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Ash Chat podcast with the Alma de Hombre Society.
In a minute.
We are here live again from Mickey Blake's in Orange, Connecticut. I am joined by my regular cohorts, Jay, Folch, and Cappy.
Yo.
And we have a very, very special guest today, Billy King.
I don't know how special that is, but...
You're special to us.
Oh, why, thank you so much.
Special to us. So, it has been a while. We are back and live and getting this thing going again, though. So, how's everybody doing? I don't know. How's this winter shitstorm?
Fuck that.
I
don't know. I don't think we've gotten enough snow yet.
So at this point in the
Somebody
podcast,
slap him.
Now I got to kick you in the ding ding.
it is late February here, and we just had a couple big snowstorms and all that kind of shit. So I think everyone's glad to be here inside in the warmth, smoking some cigars.
God,
More drama with my Jeep. So,
Oh no!
well, yeah, just not even 2 weeks ago, it was a thermostat and an oil cooler. And now the day before yesterday, I hear this roaring from underneath. It sounds like it might be an exhaust manifold.
Oh, no.
Because it sounds like an aircraft taking off. It's coming right out from the left front end. So I got to bring it in tomorrow to get looked at.
Fuck you. Just lean your seat back, put your sunglasses on, and look at people going.
We'll call you Maverick.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice. Well, Bill, thank you for joining us today. We
Thank you for
wanted to get you on for a little bit. Bill is one of the esteemed members here at the Mickey Blake's Lounge, and also obviously member of Alma de Hombre Cigar Society.
Let's go.
Thank you very much.
Representing. So yeah, I guess let's just jump right into it. Give us a little bit of background on yourself. Mostly, obviously, cigar related.
Yeah.
We don't need to go deep into your personal life. Well, I'm sure we'll get there a little bit later as we start drinking a little bit.
But he is one of the most interesting men in the world.
Yes, he is.
Or at least this room.
He is. That's a low bar.
Knee-high bar.
But how did you get started smoking cigars?
It's always a funny story because for a lot of people, it starts the same way. They go to a stag or they go to something like that, and somebody brings a box of cigars. And I always tell the story that my first cigar said, "It's a boy" on the side of it. And I now equate it with what I would imagine smoking rolled up newspaper would taste like.
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, it was an event like that. One of the guys just brought, and you tell the box hadn't been humidified or anything else. I mean, they were dry as paper and just tasted like crap. And, it was, okay. And a couple of months later.
You know that now, but
Yes.
Did you know that it tasted like crap then? Or
I was kind of disinterested. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't intrigue me. But a couple of months later, there was another event. I think it was a legit stag this time. And one of the guys brought a box of Macanudo Maduros. And it talked me to try, the other one, that one sucked. And try this was a lot better. And yeah, it was. It actually had flavor to it.
There you go.
Lo and behold, look at that. And that really started. That was the first real cigar I ever smoked.
how long ago was that?
God, got to be 15 years.
Okay.
15. I thought it was going to be longer than that.
No,
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
15, maybe a little more.
I was going to guess like before HBO.
Wow.
Conyo.
Not quite that.
Wow. It's not Timmy.
You're just a teenager.
Yeah. When it comes to cigars, yeah.
Mm.
Otherwise, I'm the oldest guy at the table. But-
It's because, mine mirrored that. My first cigar was I forgot what it was, but it was some cheap,
Gas station
style,
type.
like
yeah.
gas station
Yeah.
flavored cigar. But I think the process of just puffing smoke was attractive.
Yeah.
And then it was a week later, this has to be better. Let me try something
Mhm.
new. And then,
That's what it was
and I
for
don't
me.
think
I
that's
mean,
an uncommon experience.
for that second stag when they brought the real cigars, it was all these guys that I work with from the police department. As you all know, I'm a retired cop, and from the ambulance and the fire department, and they're all standing outside just puffing on a cigar, and that's what kind of led me to go back out and give it another shot. Was just hanging out with the guys, and it just snowballed from there. They created a monster.
Yeah, they did.
So what would you say was like kind of the first go-to cigar? Like what kind of was your first love in there?
I kind of bounced around quite a bit, just listening to people's recommendations and going back probably 8 or 9 years. Yeah, here you go. I saw that.
You are not Darth Vader.
The Force does not work here.
Oh, that Volkswagen commercial.
But somebody, I don't know where it was. It may have been, I might have gone to the Old Orange Cigar, and the guy there recommended a Melanio, an Oliva Melanio.
There you go.
And
It's a big jump.
it's a big jump, but as I said, I'd bounced around in between Rocky Patel, Charter Oak, all different ones. And this was the first one that really knocked my socks off. It's like, wow, this is great. And it's still, to this day, my go-to cigar.
Yeah.
If the
same for me.
humidor's got it, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Because then I can wander around and browse and try something new, but I always have that to go back to.
Yeah, my same
Yep.
first cigar. The Melanio was my first love go to favorite cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's perfect timing because that was like 5 or 6 years after the cigar boom ended. So by then, everything was good. We had kind of pushed all the crap cigars out of the market by then. So what a good time to start getting into cigars because you could bounce a tennis ball in a good humidor and it's going to land on a good stick.
It's probably,
Oh, yeah.
I'm
5
guessing
years
that-
I probably
before
wouldn't
that, you might
Do
end
that
up with
though. Might break some.
That's why I said tennis ball.
no wiffle ball, maybe.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, that was probably 2014-ish when that happened.
Okay.
Okay.
So where would you say you are now? Are you a full guy, medium full?
I am predominantly a full-bodied guy.
Okay. Any particular place? We talking Nicaragua, Dominicana?
Why'd you get an accent all of a sudden?
Don't fuck with me, man.
I
Sometimes
expect that from.
I know, but sometimes he feel it in the soul. It come down from here. Say,
Well, I mean, my experience from, my kind of limited knowledge on the regions and everything was that predominantly, for me at least, was the Dominican put out something that was a little more on the medium-bodied side. They were real strong, where like Nicaragua had much more of a nicotine kick. You got just a fuller feeling from it, a little more pepper on a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
That was my limited knowledge.
Okay. Before we get too far down this road and all that kind of stuff, we're obviously smoking and drinking something today.
Yes.
Your choice.
I fell in love with this new one from my father, and that is Blue. And I mean, it's more of I look at it as medium to medium plus in body, but the flavor is just too hard to ignore. It's just so good.
It's a
It's
great.
so
st- it is a
They
great.
make
stick.
a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah. And I figured I would, if it's something smooth and easy, I wanted something smooth and easy to drink with it. You can't go wrong with Blanton's.
True. No, I mean, like I said, threaten me with a good time.
I mean,
when you pulled both these out, I was pretty happy.
Yeah. I mean, either one of these you look at and say, wow, this is just going to be kick back, relax. Nothing's going to get up and slap you in the face, that kind of thing.
Yeah, this is the pro table right here. So have you tried this combo before? Or
I have not.
Oh, so
I
we're
have
all
not.
figuring out.
We're all figuring it out, but I could kind of imagine it in my head and thinking, that they both.
You've drank
smooth,
enough and smoked enough where
Yep. They're smooth, they're easy. They're, like I said, it's not something that's going to kick you in the teeth.
Sounds like the perfect woman.
Those are the ones you hand a cup of coffee to go and say, see you later, bye.
or a frozen pork chop.
But yeah, this is definitely a great choice.
Yeah,
And I
definitely
believe
good.
we are smoking the Double Toro,
Yes.
which is a semi-box press.
Yep.
Soft box press is nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you really like medium-bodied, smooth cigars that produce a lot of smoke,
Right.
this
Yep.
is a great choice.
it is.
I mean, if you like anything from medium on up,
Yeah.
you'd
Yeah,
find
even
this.
even if you like really powerful cigars,
Yeah.
it's gonna.
There's enough
gonna work
flavor
for you.
that's going to carry you where,
Yep.
like you said, it's not going to kick you in the teeth, but it's full flavored.
Oh yeah, you're
Full of flavor.
You're going on a ride, and it's a smooth ride.
And I don't
Yeah.
recall which component, but this is their first foray into Honduran tobacco, right?
Right.
It's all Honduran.
It's all Honduran.
This one's on. I forget the name of the other one, but the wrapper is not Honduran. It's different. I don't know.
And this is the first one out of their Honduran factory too.
Yeah.
The first
Oh,
one.
yeah.
and they hit a home run right out of the ball, right out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, but does my father do anything bad? All of their cigars are good.
I mean,
Yeah, I've never had one that wasn't.
my top two makers are Oliva and my father.
Can't
you
go
know?
wrong.
Yeah, I mean, not setting the world on
Yeah.
fire with that
Yeah.
prediction. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. Nice. So we did hint at you being the most interesting man in the world, but you also hinted at being an officer.
Yep.
How long were you on the force?
I started part-time back in 1984.
Okay.
I was 21 years old, and I was working. I did that over 14 years part-time, and full-time at that point, I was a paramedic. And then in 1999, I flip-flopped, and I went full-time with the police department. I went part-time or per diem as a paramedic, and I ran until early 2001-ish, 2001, 2002 and then they just stopped calling me for shifts. I never quit the ambulance. They just
They quit you.
yeah, they just stopped calling because every
It's
time
not you, it's us.
Not you, it's me.
it's not you, yeah. But they just stopped calling. I mean, it's every time they would call, it's like I would love to, but I can't because I'm already working this overtime shift.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and working overtime at the PD is paying a lot more than working a straight shift as a part-time medic.
Yep.
It's kind of an I mean, I tell people today, I still have a full uniform from Campion Ambulance Service in Waterbury, collar pins, badge, everything sitting in my closet,
You're
ready
still
to
waiting
go.
for the
Just in
call.
case.
Still wait, and the company doesn't even exist anymore. They got bought out by Trinity a few years
Wow.
back.
So that was Waterbury. Were you an officer in Waterbury as well?
No, I Seymour,
Seymour.
town of Seymour. But even before then, before I went to Waterbury, I spent a couple of years with the old New Haven ambulance before they got bought out by AMR. All that time,
I bet
say
you
I was-
got a few stories from that.
oh yeah.
Anything you can tell? What's one that sticks out?
Well, the one that everybody, well, I don't know, somebody at this table might remember, but 1987, the rap,
Yeah, I was 8 years old. I probably remember.
the rap concert riot at the New Haven Coliseum. We were in the middle of a union meeting because REMTA, we had our own union there. We were in East Haven at the East Haven Firehouse, and we got the call that there was something going on, and it turned out to be quite a riot going on. And I was the second car in, all the way from East Haven, and rolled up and threw the back doors open, and I got 3 guys that crawled into the back of my ambulance. 2 belly stabbings and a kid that caught it in the chest right under the armpit.
Oof. Jesus.
Pawned off the 2 bellies on a friend of mine, and I took the kid with the one under the armpit and ended up popping his lung and everything else. And it was just a mess.
Jesus.
I think out of the whole thing, there was, I forget how many people we transported, but over a dozen transports. And I think one kid died. And I remember going back, and we're just kind of stationed there while everything was going on. And I remember seeing the old horse guard from New Haven PD.
Mhm.
And they had, I don't know, probably had 6 horses across heading toward this big melee of people. And you just watch as these giant horses are coming right on me. You watch the crowd just part. And they tried to come around to flank the backside of the horses. And following the horses were the canine units.
Oh,
And it was either you're going to get kicked by a horse or they're just going to let the dogs play. And they decided they didn't want to do that for some reason. I can't figure out why. They just didn't want to do it anymore. But that lasted quite a while. It was a couple of hours. It
wow.
was really a little tense.
Yeah, that's nice. When
Yeah, that sounds really intense. Sorry.
I was gonna say, so between the PD and doing the paramedic stuff, EMT stuff, when did you end up in a firehouse?
That's where I started originally. I started in the fire service at age 16. Now, I can tell you the exact day because it's the historical date is November 11th. Everybody started history. That's Armistice Day,
Mm-hmm.
end of World War I, November 11th. But for me, it was November 11th of 79. 16 years old. I joined at that time. You had the 2 regular firehouses in Seymour, and then you had the Civil Defense Fire and Rescue. And regular firehouse, you had to be 18, but you could join at 15 at the CD. And so that's where I started in the fire service. And as soon as I turned 18, I applied for the regular firehouse. And then a year later, not even a year later, they used to dispatch the fire and EMS on the same frequency in Seymour. It's just, if you had a plectron, it was triggered by a different tone that would go off, whether it was fire or EMS. And I remember hearing a tone go in, and it turned out possible heart attack. It was my neighbor's house right across the street.
Oh, wow.
And I had nothing beyond basic first aid and CPR at that time. And I went across the street, and this man that I'd grown up next door to for years and years, I was 19 at the time, I think, and he was in full arrest. And so his two sons helped me get him on the floor, and I'm doing CPR on him. Another guy that I had gone to college with and was in the firehouse with showed up. He was also on the ambulance, and we worked him. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. But I was really kind of put out by that. I mean, it's one of those, I'm never going to let that happen again if I can help it. And it turns out that, I don't know, within a week or two, I'd gone to the regular drill at the firehouse, and they announced that they were going to have an MRT course sponsored at the firehouse. And if anybody was interested, and I was the first one to put my name down as interested.
Now I know what it stands for because I'm smart, but for other people that might not know, what does MRT stand for?
MRT, which really doesn't exist anymore, was medical response technician. It was one step below an EMT.
EMT, okay.
But you basically had like advanced first aid, and then if you really wanted to take that bigger step up, you became an MRT. Then you went to EMT and then IV tech and all that, and then up to paramedic. And so I did that. I took that class, and I went down and joined that local ambulance. So now I'm fire and EMS. And then a couple of years later, I had an opportunity to go to paramedic school, and I was kind of dead ending it with a job in my full time at that time was also doing security, and I'm in EMS, and then I'm in.
How many jobs are you running at the same time?
At one time,
From the island.
later on in life, I was EMT, paramedic, police officer, still doing part-time security, and for about 6 or 7 months, I did some wedding photography on top of that as well.
Jesus.
Yeah, you look at the calendar and go, Jesus Christ, what the hell did I do to myself?
Wow.
But yeah, so.
Do you remember your first call as an EMT?
I do. Some people do, some people don't. But mine was, at that time, we had a senior, we'll call it a senior living house. It was predominantly just seniors. It wasn't extended care. It wasn't nursing care or anything like that. It was just predominantly senior living. It was called the Father Callahan House in Seymour. And we got a call to go there for a nosebleed. And you're like, geez, nosebleed, blah, blah, blah. And this old guy, turned out he had a blood pressure that would make my head pop. It was so high. And that was his pressure relief valve.
Oh, Jesus.
Was the nosebleed. So we didn't even try and stop it. We just held the base and let it go. And, he had a huge blood pressure. He was minutes away from having a stroke. We got him to the hospital. As far as I know, he made out okay. I don't think he actually had a stroke, but he was, if that had been in the middle of the night instead of late afternoon, he might have had a stroke.
Holy shit.
Wow.
But I always remember that. I don't know why, but I just do.
That's hard to forget, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Yeah, but I mean, on the face of it, it's not even, we didn't even have paramedics in the valley at that time. It was just, as we call it, BLS, basic life support. Vitals, oxygen, little treatment is just trying to keep everything cleaned up and get them to the hospital.
Yeah, and I guess, Rich could speak to this more, too, like, I guess in that line of work, you see so much shit. It's easy to forget a lot of the stuff that you see. Whereas, like normal citizens like us we're like, how can you forget that? But it's if you see it every day, multiple times a day. Like,
I mean, especially, and again, Rich can attest to this too. Is you always get the question of what's the worst thing you've ever seen. And a friend of mine was a Bridgeport kid I went to school with. He was a Bridgeport cop. And he was also an amateur archaeologist. He's actually written a couple books and things like that. And he had a Christmas party at his house that I got invited to. And in his whole basement was all his archaeological finds. I mean, arrowheads all over the place. I told him when he died, he could leave me in his will. I'll just take all that off his hands because it's fascinating stuff. But one of the guys that he had there was a independent journalist who he had done ride-alongs with Mike in Bridgeport. And I got talking to him and, kind of told him my history of all the stuff I did. And he asked me that question. I said, anybody that's been in it long enough, they're never going to tell you. They're never going to answer that truthfully, because that's the call we never, ever want to think about again.
Right.
That, you see some of the memes on like Facebook and, and some of them are pretty, they hit home, and it says, that's the call that kind of fundamentally changed you as a person. And there's one that I saved on my phone, and it said, there are people, when you're in EMS and all that, you forget that there are people who have never, and I had a list, as it like zipped up a body bag, hosed brain matter off a street, told a mother their kid was dead, things like that. And it says, so if you don't like me, I don't really care, or something to that effect. And that's that thing. I tell people I have a little vault in my brain that's locked, and you don't ever want that door to open.
Yeah, those are boxes I never want to.
Yeah, those are. I don't even want to think about them. I've got it concreted over and everything else. I don't ever want that sucker to open up.
Yeah, shit.
Can
only imagine.
Very true.
Even being a couple of small town, you see things that you just don't want to think about anymore.
So to flip that,
yeah,
we're getting a little dark here.
Yeah, we got a little down that rabbit hole.
So to flip that, Can you remember? And I'm sure there's been more than one, but can you remember the first call you went in? You're like, "Are you shitting me?" It was like, this is just bananas in a funny, awkward kind of way.
Oh wow!
There had to be at least one.
We could go down a list, but. I won't even say it's a call. There was a couple while I was on duty as a cop that were hilarious. One was Saturday night, because especially when I was a part-timer, we used to fight to get on Friday and Saturday nights, because when I first started in 84, from Friday afternoon until Monday morning, you never saw a full-time cop anywhere. It was all part-timers. And we were all the same.
In the Valley?
In Seymour, at least. I mean, the guy working the desk, the officer in charge, everything.
What was the census on the staff?
We outnumbered all the full-timers about 3-1 at that point. There was about 40 part-timers and maybe 15 full-time cops.
Wow.
But we were all in there one night, and this car pulls up, and you see two people in the car, and a lady gets out from the driver's seat, and she walks up, and she's really trying to work up the nerve to talk to us. And she finally comes up and he asks for a handcuff key. That's interesting. And so you could see that she was just on the point of embarrassed to almost humiliation. So I forget who, I don't know. I don't remember. It was me or one of the other guys that handed her a key and said, I'm going to give this to you and you're going to go do what you got to do. And then we'll come back and we'll end it. And it didn't work because the handcuffs weren't standard handcuffs. They were the novelty type.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, and the guy in the car was handcuffed behind his back, and he couldn't get out. And we finally had to get a couple of guys. We finally were able to pick him open with a I think it was a paper clip, and just. This guy wanted to crawl in a hole and die. He was so embarrassed.
They were having a little fun and it got a little...
Yeah.
All right.
Always keep a backup to the main key.
It wasn't the key. It was the lock mechanism. It was such a cheap pair that it just broke.
Oh.
So we had to pick it that way.
Remember that. It's not about the key.
It's not about the key. It's the lock, yeah. And then the second one again was the same type of night. We're just hanging out on the weekend, and you've got to view what we had as an old station. It was supposed to be temporary. Well, in Seymour, temporary meant 21 years.
Sounds about right.
In what used to be the town garage. Our dispatch area was one of the old truck bays. They had bricked it up.
Wow.
They had gotten a bulletproof window from a bank. They were going out of business. They were tearing the building down.
Oh,
and they put it so that the dispatcher could look outside. And then you had a set of double doors, and then you walked in, and then you had the desk where you could talk to the people that came in, but there was no bulletproof glass. There was no nothing. It was just an open desk. And then you had a door that you could buzz open to let them in. And so we're sitting there, and across the other side of the room was where the sergeant's desk was. Well, he was out on the road, and I was there off duty, and my buddy Henry was working a desk. And he's kind of sitting facing me, and we're just talking back and forth, and he's got the phones and the computer here and everything. And we hear this weird noise outside. It's heavy, like something heavy being dropped on the ground. What the hell is that? And finally, it kind of stops, and it sounds like it's right outside. So Henry, in the office chair, leans back and turns and looks out the window and went over backwards in the chair. And staring back in the window is a big horse head staring in the window at him. And it wasn't just the horse head, it was the whole horse. There used to be a dairy in town, and I won't say the name because somebody might remember it, but they had pulling team of Belgians. These things are almost bigger than Clydesdales.
Jesus.
They weigh over a ton apiece. And they had taken them, it was around Halloween time, and they were doing the haunted hayride type of thing.
Yeah.
So they used the pulling team, and they come into town, and right at the intersection of where Main Street and all that in Seymour is, there used to be a bar called, I don't know, it was Duke's Cafe or King's Grill or what it was at the time. They stopped and decided to have a few drinks, and they got a little oiled up and decided that the on-duty supervisor at the time was one of the guy's uncle, and they were going to go see Uncle Ed. And so they got the horses out, and they rode these things up Main Street bareback, up around onto the Forest Street, and turned on, and the boom, boom, boom was just the horses with a hoof that's, twice the size of that ashtray outside, just stepping in the parking lot outside.
Jeez.
And the horse is just leaning in the window when Henry turned and looked. We didn't let Henry, until the day he retired, we never let Henry live that down.
Well,
it was hilarious.
You shouldn't. Jesus.
That's classic.
Small town. What do you want?
Good old Seymour.
Yeah.
So did you guys wrangle these horses, or?
No, the guys were still on them.
Oh, they were on them.
They were on them. They rode them bareback.
Oh, fuck.
Posse up.
They rode them bareback up the street. And nobody thought to call the police with these guys riding these gigantic horses up the middle of Main Street.
Nothing to see here.
I guess when you see something like that, you figure it's got to be legal. They must have called somebody. Like, shit, who the fuck would just do that?
A couple of drunk idiots.
Which, yeah.
A couple of drunken farm boys.
No.
But yeah, we had fun with that.
Oh, I bet, man. That's
So, Mr. King,
that's wild.
since we're friends,
Yes.
and I know a little bit about you,
Oh, God. Here we go.
when did you fall in love with cars?
Early age.
Feel free to smoke your cigar too.
Oh, okay.
I know it went
Yeah,
out on you once already.
I just had to relight. But I remember going to like car shows and things with my dad as a kid. And somewhere still at my mom's house, there's a picture of me and my sister with her great aunt's car being auctioned off. It was a 1936 Packard. Big boat of a car. I mean, the engine had cylinders the size of those ashtrays. And it was bought by Daddy-O's Auto Parts in Seymour.
I like how we're measuring everything by ashtrays.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Point of
It's a
reference.
unit of
No,
measure.
yeah.
About a coffee
it's
can
fitting.
and a half in
It's
size.
fitting. You know?
But, and we showed up, and me and my sister with the car in the newspaper, and they ended up restoring the car to what it once was. It was a beautiful two-tone paint job, and they used to use it for weddings and that kind of stuff. And then I think it was ABC Sports at the time used to show NASCAR on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And so my dad would watch, and I would watch with him, and I started watching the races, and that just snowballed from there. Always loved cars, used to tinker with cars. My niece's husband was a mechanic for years and messed around with cars there.
What's your dream ride?
To own or just to drive?
Let's go both.
Let's go both.
Well, in some ways, I kind of own what I really want. I mean, yeah, I could say I wanted a Ferrari F40 or something like that, but I mean, that's unrealistic.
Yes.
But
That's why it's called a dream.
yeah, but one of the cars I do have is a 1981 DeLorean.
No shit.
Yes.
Yep.
Let's go back in time.
How did I
Find
not
old
know
Bill.
that?
But yeah, 1981 DeLorean. And another car that I would love to own.
Does it have a flux capacitor?
No, that's not. That's
I
out
almost
for
said
repair.
it and didn't want to be too corny. And then you fucking.
I'm here to help.
Yeah, I was going to take that to like a cruise night or something. I have a little sign made up that says flux capacitor out for repair for all the people who are asking where it is. But yeah, and another car, it's, kind of everybody scratches their head, but another muscle car that I'd love to have is a 70 or a 74, 70 or 71 Ford Mach 1.
Ooh.
Yeah.
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 I'm not a huge fan of the 70 bodies. Like
Yeah.
I had a 68
Yeah.
Mustang for a long time.
But that Mach 1
yeah.
with like a 351 Windsor, yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah, that's nice.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
I had like an idiot. I sold it. It was an 87 Grand National.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And like a moron, I sold it.
Those had
Damn.
big
And a friend of mine,
big stones.
he bought it and he just drove it into the ground.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yep. So it's not one of those where I could just buy it back off him and fix it up.
Yeah.
It costs more than the car's worth to do that.
It was like the Grand National and then the Hearst Olds back then.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Muscle.
What's the coolest one? Maybe not that you owned or anything like that, but that you've gotten to drive.
Well, as you all know, I'm into racing.
Yep.
So the coolest thing I ever got to drive, all right, I'll give it to you. That's the bottle of Blanton's they're passing around. But I took part in a driver search. There was a team looking for a driver. And at the time, it was the Indy cars had their Indy Lights series.
Yep.
And they were looking for a driver. This is around 1990, 91 maybe. I think it was 1990. But I went out to Firebird Raceway in Arizona and drove a 1988 March chassis Indy car around Firebird Raceway as a test to see
That's pretty
which
hot.
one of us they wanted. And
No shit.
unfortunately, the idiot that was trying to do it went belly up, and he left a lot of people hanging and owed a lot of people. But
Oh.
somebody else bought all his inventory, and they did. And the new owner did another driver search about a year and a half later, 92, I think it was. I went out that was out in Vegas, the old Vegas Speedway, which is right across the street from Nellis Air Force Base. And I was supposed to drive. It was a 1990, I think it was a Lola chassis. And it got so hot that by 10 o'clock, we had to be off the track. It was so hot
shit.
during the day. And we could come back that evening when it started to cool off. But during the day, I got to kind of tool around also in, you heard the SCCA, Sports Car Club of America. You see them like up at Lime Rock and all that.
Mhm.
Well, one of the Indy style cars that they had was called a Formula Atlantic. Very quick. They look like a Formula One car. Very, very fast, small, very twitchy. But I got to tool that around until it got where we could actually run the Lola. And so those were a couple of the most cool cars I ever got to drive.
Okay, that's pretty well. What did you have to do, like, just to qualify to be able to
Well, I went
do that?
I went to Skip Barber Racing School.
Okay.
I went down. I did what they at the time they called their Speed Week Plus. This was November of '89. I went down there, and it was their 3-day driving school. They did a lapping day, and then a 3-day race weekend all at once. And so they had the little Formula Fords, the little I think they were 3-cylinder Ford Fiesta motors, in these little tiny chassis that you're just wedged in this little cockpit, and these little cars are doing 120 miles an hour, 130 miles an hour.
Mm.
And I was just absolutely hooked. And then I did some reading on another school that I wanted to attend, and I did. It was Elf Winfield. And Elf Winfield was over in France, and it took place at Circuit Paul Ricard in France, which has hosted quite a few Formula One races and everything else.
He really is the most interesting.
I was about to go there.
Jesus Christ, what happened? Tell me more. Come on.
So I went there and I did did the school there, and they had also a driver search. we could come back. This was in March of 90, and the competition, the Pilo Elf competition was in Pilo, or pilot being the driver. The Pilo Elf competition was in October of 90. I went back for that, and there was quite a few people from my class in there and from other classes, and they were looking for one driver, the overall winner. Got a fully sponsored racing season in, I think at that time it was F3000, which is part of the ladder system for Formula One.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid that won it had been in my original school, and then he'd come back the same way I did and won the whole thing. And he ended up driving in Indy cars for about 4 years. I think he had 4 starts at the Indy 500.
No shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Name of Richie Hearn.
You were better than him.
But also the another name that you might recognize is one of the other guys that he wasn't my original school, but he was in the driver search, was Johnny Rutherford IV.
Oh, yeah.
If you remember Johnny Rutherford from Formula or IndyCar fame and Indianapolis 500. And it was funny because years later, I go out to Long Beach every year for the IndyCar race out there. And I went out there, and the Monday morning after the race, I'm sitting there, and at the time they had the shared rides for the airport. It was called the Super Shuttle out there. From Long Beach to LAX was like $15 per person. And I look over, and there is the man himself, Johnny Rutherford, sitting, waiting for a ride to the airport. And I kind of went up and started talking to him, because at that time he used to drive the pace car for IndyCar.
Oh, no shit.
For the series.
Okay.
I started talking to him, and I asked him about his son and told him that I'd taken part in it. And we got talking, and he and I got on the same shuttle. And there was about a half a dozen other people in the van, and not another person said a word. They were just listening to me and Johnny Rutherford talking. And we get to LAX, and he was still in the van. I was getting dropped off I think I was flying Delta at the time, and he was going somewhere else. And as I'm getting out, he says, "Are you going to be at Barber next weekend? If you are, come find me." Holy shit, Johnny Rutherford wants me to hang out with him. And I had to sit there and go, "No, I can't. I got to go back to work. I can't come to Alabama next week."
You got to get that. But
Wah, wah. But that was a pretty cool moment there.
Yeah, that's really damn. Did you ever get to do any racing? Like, did you?
Oh yeah, I did quite a bit. I did. At the time, Skip Barber had a semi-pro series they used to call the Barber Saab Pro Series. The cars were powered by Saab engines, and they were a much scaled up version. Like the Formula Fords that I first learned on did not have wings in the front and rear. Mm-hmm. These were fully aerodynamic wing cars. And I started running those. And I did a lot of testing sessions, like winter testing, and I was setting up for trying to do the whole season. And one of the things I was trying to put together, at that time you didn't have Google to look up everything. And this is 1991, 92. And I was trying to look up demographics to put together like a sponsor package to see if I can get somebody to pay for my racing.
Yeah.
And the biggest regret I have is my mother offered to pay for an entire season in Barber Saab.
Wow.
Which at that time ran about $100,000.
Jesus.
For the whole season. And me being the cocky asshole that I was, I said no. That I was going to do it on my own and do it on, I didn't want, being the idiot I was, I didn't want mommy paying for it type of deal. Where half the people that were in it were mommy and daddy were paying for it anyway.
Yeah.
But I was doing everything on my own because I'm working 2 jobs and everything else. I had good money coming in. And to this day, I regret not doing it.
Shit.
Because I never know how far I could get.
Yeah.
That winter, I was setting up for another testing session, going down to Florida at Sebring. And that's when I got hurt at work. I hurt my back. I was out for 6 months. I had to have surgery and everything else.
Wow.
Shit.
I raced. My last race was in October of 93. And we used to go on the Skippy school cars. That was the Formula Ford race that we did at Lime Rock. And that was the last time I was ever in the cockpit of a race car. And, we were talking 33 years later, and I'm still, every racing season, is like, I want to get back in it so bad. And
How old were you at that time?
93, I was 30.
That honestly in itself is kind of impressive. Because most people start this at, 10, 12, go-karting and
Yep.
all that kind of shit and getting in, really young. And to be 30 and to have the chance and be that competitive.
I got into it in '89, so 4 years I was really into actual being a driver.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
So, just to build on this, most interesting man in the world. I don't think race cars are the only cockpit he's been in.
We talking about a gay bar? Or what?
Holy shit!
Wow.
I don't know where he's going with this.
Sure.
Ding, 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 ding.
It's been a while without a laugh. I had to just,
or at least have or had a pilot's license as well.
Yes.
Top Gun Bill.
I went and...
Well, you came back.
Oh,
You
yeah.
came back.
No, I never left. You guys were looking out the rearview window at something else.
Actually, it was... I went to paramedic school from May to November of 1986. And December, I'm looking through, and it was something I always wanted to do, get my pilot's license, and I looked at the place called North Air Inc. It was in Prescott, Arizona. And I ended up going out there for a month. And started from, I'd never been in a small aircraft before, to walking out with my pilot's license in a month.
Nice.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So to kind of bring it back to the podcast, this is all a podcast, but like
Billy King, boys and girls.
this
Billy
all
King.
sounds very responsible and like disciplined. And where does cigars and
How'd
bourbon
you end up in
and
this
all
room
that?
with these?
This
Where,
bunch of degenerates.
where did that like kind of come into? Like, was that a part of your life at that point? Like when you said you were 30,
Yeah.
when you were into the racing thing, and like were you into cigars and bourbon at that point, or was it
That came later.
okay?
But it was like one of the guys I worked with at Campions was also into the SEC and the racing. He had a physical disability, so he couldn't get in a race car, but he ended up being a corner worker, or someone would call the marshals.
That's
corner
not drug.
marshals.
Papa, that's no. It's not the cocaine.
No.
Cocaína, no cocaína.
Okay, go ahead.
But just other people, and then I found other people. Again, working up at Waterbury, we would go provide paramedic service for the town of Woolkit. And one of the girls was also into the SCCA. She was also an EMS instructor. She taught basic EMT classes. And, I would come in as a paramedic, I would guest lecture at some of her classes. So I would teach that way. And then when I got into full-time police work, I would always been into photography. And I had taken some pictures at one of the guys' retirement parties. And my lieutenant at the time saw it and offered me to go to photography school for the department.
Okay.
So law enforcement photography, and it was run by a couple of guys it was through what they called IPTM, which is the International Police Training and Management. And the two instructors were based out of Florida. One of them was a Pinellas County lieutenant. And then his teaching partner was with Pinellas County, but he wasn't an actual officer. He worked, I think he worked in their ID unit or something as a civilian employee. But I hooked up with those guys for a while, and then I started doing crime scene and evidence for the department, and then I ended up being the primary for our accident reconstruction. So all the fatal and really serious physical injury accidents, things like that.
Just letting you guys know, that fucking school is not easy. So all the shit that he's done that's not easy, that's not easy. But this fucker is really, really interesting. Like, shit.
And
So I'm
You
a
had
nerd.
no
I'm a nerd
idea.
out for a second.
okay,
When you're doing the photography and all that kind of stuff,
Yes.
what kind of camera are you using?
when I've always been a Nikon guy.
Okay, that's the podcast. We're gonna.
Wow. Holy shit. Coño.
The one that I took the actual IPTM class with was an old workhorse that Nikon put out, which is the Nikon F4.
Okay.
It's a titanium-bodied film camera.
Yep.
And I still have it.
No shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, almost
Still functioning? Like can
still
you,
functioning. Yeah,
You
That's
develop
awesome.
your own film?
I did a couple of times, but trying to have
Of course you
trying to have a house dark, a dark room, especially now, is almost impossible.
Oh yeah,
because
that would be.
most of the stuff is 30, 40 years old. Like trying to get in a larger, forget it.
Yeah.
Well, there's nobody really putting out brand new ones anymore. So,
No.
and the chemicals are expensive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All that's.
But yeah, I even got into, I went through an instructor's class for the police academy, and I got certified as an instructor in law enforcement, crime scene, and evidence photography.
Of course you did. Come on, man.
I did that for a while.
What's hopping?
Dude, I'm gonna have AI summarize this podcast for a description. It's just gonna be a list,
Hold
a
on.
fucking resume.
You can't blast him about the Nikon. Then what's your camera?
Canon all day.
Oh, Canon all day.
Canon.
All day, all day.
He's a Canon all day, bitches.
I shot on Pentax a little bit when I was in high school.
Yeah,
but
okay.
that was high school. So I graduated Canon.
Yeah. And now I still have one of the last DSLRs that Nikon made, which is probably one of the best ones I ever made. The Nikon, the D850.
Oh, yeah.
I still have. I use that.
I just threw one of those out.
Yeah, sure you did.
Glad you got to do that.
I didn't throw it out. I gave it to one of the other departments at work because we didn't want it.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I went from a 12 megapixel. What the hell was it?
Wow.
D3S Nikon.
okay, yep.
12 megapixel to 45 megapixels. That was like culture shock.
Yeah.
And then I've also got a Fujifilm.
Okay.
An XT5 now. And Fuji is neat because you can do
That's actually a nice little camera.
you could do all kinds of different film simulations. You can do black and white. I could simulate the look of old school Kodachrome.
Yeah.
Just by all these different formulations.
Fuji's doing some cool shit.
I bet you Canon can do that.
Yeah.
I bet you Canon can do that, Papa.
You didn't even mention that. You brought up my being a pilot, but you never brought up my being a cowboy.
Motherfucker. Who knew we had Wyatt Earp in this motherfucker? Too? Jesus fucking Christ.
I need to see Bill in chaps.
Fucking Yellowstone motherfucker.
Hold on. Stop. Cowboy, let's go.
Oh, you lucky I can't do the whistle.
This is the closest I got. Space Cowboy. That's what I got.
Mount up. All right, cowboy.
yeah.
How the fuck were you a cowboy? Let's go.
Two summers on a ranch in Colorado.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I went to boarding school. I went to Rumsey Hall in
So how old are you?
Who's your roommate?
15 and 16.
Bill Dunn.
Okay.
15 and 16. I'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, God.
Because I already told you that story.
I know that story.
Yeah, you know that story. But one of the teachers years before had owned a ranch in Colorado, and they used to bring kids out there every summer.
He was ripped before there was rip.
It was called the Vagabond Ranch. It was
Okay.
the whole property was 180 acres,
Shit.
and so he and his wife took people out there. And after his wife passed away, unfortunately, he sold the majority of the ranch. He kept a piece, and the guy that he bought it or sold it to just did no justice to it, and he ended up. He defaulted and everything else, and Charlie Pavick was the name of the guy, and he took the ranch back. And so for 2 summers, he brought, I think it was 9 or 10 of us out there, and we did a lot of work on the ranch, trying to fix things up. And the ranch was at 9,200 feet.
Fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, he had a friend that would bring horses over for us to ride, and one of the other kids that was out there, who was also from Connecticut, we palled up, and we would saddle up 2 horses every morning, and then we would ride that whole perimeter fence, and we'd have to fix the fence. It's a 4-strand barbed wire fence.
Oof.
And so I learned, number one, horseback, and how to fix fence and put in posts and everything else.
Open and ride.
I heard that when Elon Musk was having trouble landing rockets, he came in. So my next, he said, "Bill, help me out, man."
My next question was going to be.
Jesus, man.
My next question was going to be all the shit that you've just told us that you've done here so far, which I'm sure isn't even everything. Is there something that you've wanted to do that haven't gotten a chance to?
One is skydiving.
Really?
I haven't tried that yet.
Exotic dancing.
Yeah, well, I could do that, but people would pay me to put my clothes on. Take them off.
Whatever makes you money, man.
Yeah, I'd make a lot of money real quick. It would be snowing money just so they'd obscure the view.
The skydiving thing surprises me.
No, I would love to do that.
as a race car driver, and I
would have thought you would have done it. That's why
I
I
haven't
like,
done it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you could try indoor first before you jump out of plane.
Well, the thing is that
Oh, no, do it.
my
It's-
current size, my current weight, you can't do a tandem jump that way.
Yeah.
And they really want you to do a tandem jump for your first
Yes.
jump.
Yeah.
Fuck
And
that.
I think the weight limit is 250 pounds.
I think your credentials fucking. See what I've done, motherfucker? I'm a cowboy.
It'd be like John Wayne. I'll get in there and
Just give me the fucking harness.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
Do I pull now or what?
He's like, back in '89, I took down the Soviet Union.
The fucking modern day Sisu and shit.
you know what? Fuck Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris is afraid of Bill.
Jesus. Oh man.
Oh.
Gotta love it. All right. Let's fucking throw this bitch in a little bit of reverse. You have $12. You got
$12.
$12
You've
in
gone
your
up.
pocket. That's all you have, right?
You've gone up.
Huh?
You've gone up.
Yeah,
It
I
used to be
did.
10.
It's just be 10.
Well, the prices have gone.
This motherfucker right here is,
Let it
you
go.
know, we got to give him 12. $12. You walk into a humidor. That's all you have. What are you buying? Fully stocked.
For $12?
$12.
You could go with
Anything.
like a little Robusto size of what we're smoking now
Anything
for $10.
you want. There you go.
You could do you turn
Not what you could
Jay,
do.
Turn
What
me
would-
on.
What would you do?
What would Bill?
Well, the ones I'm naming are some of the ones I would do.
So
like
definitely
Cane,
10. Yep. Oh,
Dunn
Cane.
Cane,
Cane is fucking
Or
good.
good deal
Okay.
cigar.
or the Oliva Nub.
Nub. Holy shit.
No,
That
okay.
too.
I got nothing but nub
You know?
for you, baby.
Yeah, all
Okay,
those.
Buck.
Three good ones. Those are great. Those are great. Everyone.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Sorry, Oliva guys, but whenever I have nubs, I give him the bill.
yeah.
That is not my cigar choice.
All right.
But I do enjoy it.
Wow.
I like the Habano wrapper. You know,
Mhm.
Cameroon's not bad.
Cameron's good.
Cameron's good.
delicious.
So
There's a shite.
pour another little scotch
There
there.
you go. Something.
So obviously we're drinking some bourbon.
Yes.
Bourbon too. You brought the Blantons.
Brought the Blantons.
What's your favorite or one of your
My usual go-to is something like a Buffalo Trace.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's my primary.
That was what I was expecting us to drink tonight, was Trace.
No.
Huh?
So I'm going to go way back
Oh, I got
Okay.
one.
to the beginning days of the other shop.
I'm gonna get that in.
First, hold on, before you cut in, first taste I've ever had at Jefferson's was Jefferson's Very Old, it's called.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there and Bill goes, you need to try this.
Jefferson's Timmy?
Huh?
Is that Jefferson's Timmy?
Yeah. Yeah, Jefferson's. And he gave me that shit. I was looking for it. I couldn't find it. He gave it to me, and then I finally find it. And then I did the Ocean, which
Yeah.
was great.
Buffalo.
But it
or
was the first
Jeff-
time I ever had
Ocean.
Jefferson's Very Old was when he gave it to me at the other spot way long time ago.
That and the Ocean. I mean, I still love
Oh,
that.
still good. Yeah.
So,
Is
Bill, we all have bottles at home, right? I mean, we may not all be collectors,
Here we
Mhm.
go.
but we all have bottles at home. So,
Yeah.
what would you say is the best bottle you have at home?
The one his sister got him.
Yes, probably.
Motherfucker.
What's
The,
what's your sister?
It's Pappy Van Winkle 20 year
Oh,
that she gave me for my 60th birthday
That don't suck.
that I have not opened yet.
Nope.
And she
don't
keeps,
blame you.
well, I mean, $5,000 bottle of bourbon. What are you
Yeah.
opening it for?
No, you're not correct.
Yeah, this
So,
has got to be
We're
something.
not good enough.
Well, she keeps busting my chops on it. So I told her I would open it on my 65th birthday,
Okay.
which is just a hair over 2 more years away.
Huh?
There you go. So you got to wait.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
So,
By
but,
then, he'll be an astronaut.
maybe, who knows?
He ain't lying.
You're right.
Neil Armstrong, who, bitch? Two-step. Oh, fuck.
Is there all right, so probably there probably can't be anything now because you've got the Pappy fucking 20, but is there something that you've wanted to try that you haven't been able to get your hands on?
Not a lot that I can really think of.
especially around here.
Yeah, because
Well, yeah, that's
God, we bring a lot of shit.
everything comes
Everybody
Such-
brings heavy hitters. in.
such an eclectic group here of just
Is-
bottles that come in every week.
Is there a unicorn cigar that you want?
Mm.
Oh yeah, that's
I have never tried a real Cuban Cohiba yet.
You know you're talking to the right guy, right? 'Cause former time, I say that he could show it to me. I smoked them in a fucking school.
I mean, come on. When we went to the DR, we had
Yes.
the Golden Bull.
The Golden Bull. Which everybody thought
Is that
we
the
weren't.
NFT one?
It's the NFT.
The
one.
NFT one. I mean, it's the
And he
two.
broke that fucker out at lunchtime, and I said, "This is the Golden Bull." Reggie put it in his pocket. I said, "Motherfucker,
No.
you're in DR. You have
you
to
smoke
that shit here."
Yeah.
And we did, and it was fucking good.
Yes, it was. They told what it was, a $200 cigar.
$200 cigar.
But I mean,
I wouldn't pay that, but we did it. And it was,
my birthday's
price
coming
is
up,
right.
and every year I have a. I think it's my father puts out the Garcia y Garcia.
yes.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
which
a
is,
$35 cigar.
but it's delicious.
But what I do is every year I buy it and I put it in my locker and I let it sit there for a year.
Oh, fuck.
So every
Well,
year you
you're
smoke
always
the
a
year
year
before?
behind.
I smoke the one that's in my locker coming up next month. I buy a new one and I put it in and I let it for age
Oh.
for a year.
Perfect.
And so that's my birthday treat.
So smart.
That's cool.
Love it.
Yeah, we gonna get you a Cuban.
A real one. I've had a fake one.
All right, so aside from
Don't offend me.
Mon ami.
Mon ami.
Say no more.
so hopefully we can name names here. So aside from that first cigar that you had, what was the worst cigar that you had? Like a name brand, like something someone can get off the shelves.
Like you lit it up and wanted to throw it at somebody.
Hype wasn't worth it.
Wow. I can't even think of one. There was,
Oh, shit.
I didn't want to say it.
I think it might have been an AJ Fernandez.
No.
Wow. Hey, we getting something
But
at the
it was one
podcast.
of those-
It's over.
Was it just
It's over.
Was it just a bad stick, or was it the bad blend?
Ooh,
But
look how late
I
it
don't
is.
know. But it was. It just.
It was an AJ.
Oh, shit.
It was,
AJ?
I don't
had a
even
bad
remember
AJ? Hold
on.
which one it was.
You know what, though? If it was the AJ Fernandez, Romeo and Juliet, that was probably
Well, that's
that's probably the
Yeah.
only one I did not like.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is AJ Fernandez. He blended a Romeo and Juliet, and I smoked it, and it was fucking not good.
Mhm.
Halfway through, I put it down. And it was AJ Fernandez, but
Yeah.
it was a Romeo and Juliet. I did not like it.
Everybody has a bad day.
Right.
And another one was, everybody knows I like the Filthy Hooligan, especially coming up.
I do like them.
Yep.
But the other one, the Shamrock?
The Shamrock.
yeah.
I'm not a big fan. The 2-wrap
I
barb
agree.
pole of the Hooligan, I like a lot better than
Yep.
the 3-wrap on the Shamrock.
On the Shamrock, yeah. I agree with you.
It's too muddled. There's too much going on. It's not a.
It doesn't know who it is.
You don't.
Yeah.
You never get a consistency on it.
No,
It's just like
not
it
at all.
burns wonky. It's weird.
But even,
Well, that's a
Still-
St. Patrick's Day. I'm out
It's a,
drinking.
it's a gimmick
yeah.
thing.
Butts
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Who
But,
does his annual pilgrimage?
yes,
I feel like Archipelago, right? That's a Mitch thing.
my annual pilgrimage to New York City for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we need to get Mr. Rubin to give you a call to help with the next blend.
You need help? Who's that?
Speaking of pilgrimages, you were just down in Daytona for the
Yes.
Rolex 24.
Yes, I was.
How was that?
That was awesome. I had a really good time. Unfortunately, my car did not finish the race.
Well,
They ended up coming in with an oil fire
Oh, fuck.
and with like 3 hours or 4 hours to go in the race. And they
but
just
you
couldn't.
go annually, right?
Yeah, I've been going about the last 5 years now.
And so for people listening that don't know, the Rolex 24 is a 24-hour race
Yes.
at Daytona Speedway.
I mean, everybody's heard of like the 24 hours of Le Mans.
Yeah.
Well, this is 24 hours at Daytona Speedway with the whole infield and everything else,
Yeah.
the whole circuit.
So when you're down there watching the 24 hours,
Yes.
are you watching the 24 hours? Like, are you sleeping? Are you?
No, I'd go back to the hotel. A buddy of mine comes over. Well, there's a little drinking going on. A friend of mine from here in Connecticut moved down
Okay.
Florida, and he lives about 2 hours west. So years ago, I drank the Kool-Aid and I bought into timeshare. Well, one of the timeshare properties is in Daytona. So every year I book a 2-bedroom suite with the points that I have. So we each get our own bedroom. So I have a bedroom, and he needs his own bedroom because he's got a CPAP, which sounds like a freight train. And
Yeah.
so he's got his own bedroom across the other side of the suite. I don't even hear it at night. But he comes over, we hang out,
Father.
and because they got yeah, really. But
It all comes full circle.
yes, but because they don't get the huge crowd like they do for the Daytona 500, it's general seating. You can go almost anywhere in the track.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we wander. They have a little shuttle that goes all the way around into the infield. You can wander around that whole what they call the international horseshoe, and they've just got a fence around it, so you can go right up to the fence and walk around and just have a good time.
How cool would it be to hang out with Bill at a race?
Right?
Yeah, it would be good.
And then I paid extra the first year I went for what they call platinum parking. And so he's got the Honda Passport, and we set it up. He's got lawn chairs in the back. I got a little table and everything, so we can go out to the car. We set up out in the parking lot. We pregame with cigars and the whole 9 yards.
Nice.
That's what they allow you to smoke at the speedway.
Yeah,
In the infield.
No, out in the parking lot.
Oh, okay.
They within the actual speedway, so you can't smoke.
Oh, gotcha.
But like we go down there on Thursday and Friday, we'll hang out, and then we go to Don Kiki in Daytona, which is pretty nice, pretty fun place to go.
Yeah.
And we kind of hang out there, and I see you've tried to use the force, and it's not working.
Now you went to thing.
I was feeling thing.
The thing hand.
And then next door to Don Kiki, you checked out my buddy.
Yeah,
Eddie's,
the stocking mill
coffee.
Talked to him for a while, hung out. So we had a good time out there. And
You don't.
the Friday, there's not a lot going on at the track. We go out there Thursday. I find a little tent where I can renew my tickets, so you kind of lock in the price and everything. I get the tickets and the parking for next year, so I don't have to worry about it. Then you got the whole infield. It's like a circus midway with all the vendors and everything. We hit all the vendors. And on Friday, there's not a lot going on. So this past year, we went up towards St. Augustine, and there's a car museum up there.
Nice.
And we spent a couple hours just looking at all the old cars. I mean, they had everything from Model T to the Plymouth Daytona, the Super B. They had a couple Ferraris. I mean, just car guy heaven.
Yeah.
You geeked.
That's cool.
You geeked out. You fanboyed it.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And then we go back the next day for the finish of the race, the last couple hours of the race.
Okay.
And we got seats pretty close to where I had a direct line of sight to start finish, so you could take some pictures as they're throwing the final checkered flag. And they've got 4 different categories of cars racing at the same time. They got 60 cars on the track.
Right.
So you've got essentially 4 categories of cars taking the checkered flag.
That's cool.
But as I say,
That's really cool.
my car didn't finish, so I was disappointed.
Still a cool experience.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Daytona's awesome. I've been down there a couple times for the Supercross races.
Yep.
Down there during Bike Week and stuff.
I think that's coming up, right?
this weekend.
Yeah, this week.
Yeah. Yep.
And
I want to go back down.
If I remember that lake that they have there, Lake Lloyd.
Yep.
Essentially, they dug that out to build the high banks. And then, if I remember right, back in the day, they used to use that for drag boat racing.
Oh, no kidding.
But they don't. You can actually bring a boat out there now, and they stocked it with some fish, and so.
Oh, no shit.
But I think they've actually even landed a couple seaplanes on it at one time. And just across the other side of the infield is where the airport, the real airport is. So you can actually see planes coming and going. But we go there for the start of the race. The race starts at like 1:40 in the afternoon. We'll stay until after 10 because at 10 o'clock they have a fireworks show. And if you're sitting in a certain place in the grandstands, you could see all the way down from start finish all the way down into turn 1. You can see cars going through the infield, up around the high bank, all along the back side of the back stretch, and beyond that, you've got the fireworks show going on all at the same time.
Oh,
It'll last about 5 minutes. Then we hang out a little longer, 10:30, 11:15, head back to the hotel. We go back the next day, pregame with a good cigar,
2-3 beers.
go in, watch the end of the race. We go back out, have another cigar, watch the car show as it leaves because everybody goes there in their Porsches. And,
3 more.
I think we saw a couple of Maseratis go by this year, Porsches. I think there was one Lambo that was leaving. Just a whole car show from where we park. Just sitting, smoking a cigar, watching everybody clear out. And by the time we're done, there's no more traffic. We just leave.
Shit, that's perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good day.
It is a great time.
That's awesome. I almost feel bad. Everyone's like nubbing their cigars right now. Bill hasn't even gotten to the band. He's just smoking.
He's been engaged.
But the impressive part is he's only had to relight that thing once, and it stayed lit the entire time. which is a testament
And
to my
I'm
father.
peeling the first band now. And I'm almost done with my second pour here. So
He's the most
Good.
interesting man in the room.
Yeah. So obviously we've talked a lot about what you've done and where you came from and all that kind of stuff. What's next for Bill King?
Yeah.
probably going to a few races. I'm a huge fan of Formula One.
Mhm.
So there's a few races that are on my bucket list, like someday going to Monaco.
Oh, that's hot.
I also want to go to Singapore for the race there.
Okay.
That's number one is on city streets in Singapore, and number two it's at night,
Oh,
and they
no
light up
shit.
the whole track.
damn.
Road trip.
Yeah, if you can afford it.
That's got to be a goddamn production. Holy
Oh yeah,
shit.
they've been doing it for years.
Check the undercarriage.
And I'd love to go to the one in Texas at Austin. The Circuit of the Americas is a phenomenal track. Everybody that races there loves it. And then there's other thing. One of my bucket list items is I want to drive Route 66 from end to end,
Yeah.
and maybe the Pacific Coast Highway, in California.
What would you do? What would you do that drive in?
Like, what would be the
Oh.
car? Drop top.
I don't know if I'd do it in a car.
Oh,
A couple of you know that I just purchased a friend of mine that passed away. I bought his bike, which is a Harley Road King.
ooh.
Whoa.
I would
So
love
you're
to
a
be able
mechanic too.
yeah. Well, hopefully not. I mean, they actually had to replace his whole motor
Oh,
under
wow.
warranty. It was something with the 19 model year they had an issue with. They ended up replacing his whole motor.
Yeah, I think it's called the bet the name badge.
Wow.
But could you imagine
Not a big Harley fan of you.
doing
No,
that
that would be
on a cruiser like
sick.
that?
That would be ridiculous.
Yeah. So I mean, one bucket list item I'll probably never be able to go to is I'd love to see the ruins at Petra, but that's in Jordan, and the whole Mideast
Yeah, it's
right now is
a little hot.
not welcoming to tourists.
To us.
Yes. Yeah, at least not to us anyway.
Yeah.
So that one's kind of on the side on the bucket list.
Have you checked out the Vegas F1?
I
race?
haven't gone out to it, but
I just remember hearing a lot of people talk about how cool it was to be in
and
Vegas.
I also hear a lot of complaints about it.
Really?
Yeah, the first year they had it there,
Isn't that a night race?
it's a night race, and they take up part of the Las Vegas Strip and everything else.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a manhole, but it was one of those heavy covers that they had over, like, out as a water shut off or something.
Oh yeah.
One of the edges kicked up, and one of the cars hit it. I think it was one of the Ferraris. It might have been Carlos Sainz hit it, and just tore up the race car.
Mm.
And
That'll destroy.
yeah, and they ended up shutting everything down. And by the time they got things going again, the fans weren't allowed back in the stands.
Ooh.
These are people who paid a couple of $1,000s for each
Right.
individual ticket,
Fucking.
being told they couldn't go.
Yeah.
And then they've got complaints from all the vendors and all the hotels and
Oh
that
shit.
they're putting up all these obstructions so that you can't just walk up to a fence and look from, say, if you owned you were a bar owner and you had your patrons there, they can't
Couldn't
see
just
anything.
watch. Yeah.
And so there are a lot of complaints.
Ooh, 1 star.
I could see that. I
Mhm.
could see that.
And it's, especially for some reason, the races here in the U.S. are incredibly expensive. Vegas is expensive. The one in Miami is expensive. The one that's not that bad is the one in Austin.
Okay.
Really?
It's more affordable.
Music City.
But it may be just because it's been going on for almost 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
But IndyCar is raced there. NASCAR is raced there. Formula One raced there. MotoGP is raced there. They all love this track.
Yeah.
Because it's got, from start finish up until turn one, it rises 110 feet before you hit turn one. Then
Yeah.
it goes down. You've got the S's as it comes back down around. Just a phenomenal track layout.
I think they're doing a Supercross race there this year too, because they started doing an SMX like finals thing, and they do it a lot of speedways.
Yep.
And I think Austin was on the finals
could
list
be.
this year. Yeah.
And the American Superbike, I think they raced there as well.
Yep.
The series that Nicky Hayden raced in before he went over to MotoGP.
Yep.
I think they raced there as well. So it's a place. Those are all things I'd love to be able to do, or they're on my list to do.
That's a hot.
Whether I
race.
What do
actually
you think you'll get to first?
Wow.
Austin.
either Austin or at least driving part of Route 66.
Okay.
This year, I think 2026 is the 100th anniversary of that roadway.
Oh, no shit.
And a friend of mine and I have been talking about, even if you just go out there and just do a rental car, do a week and then kind of come back and then do another segment another time.
I've done pieces of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Wow.
The only one that I've ever seen was when I was out, the cruise I went on in October had a day in L.A., and the bus tour that I took brought you out to the Santa Monica Pier, which is basically where it ends.
Yep.
And I got the big Route 66 sign there and all that.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's the most likely, and Austin, Texas is the most likely so far.
Okay. All right. I don't even know where the fuck else to go with this.
I mean,
I feel like we can ask him anything. He's like, yeah, I do that.
Fucking, wow.
I do that. I did that. I want to do that.
He left out Jacques Cousteau.
I did go scuba diving once.
Let's see.
Literally.
And he did operate a submarine one time. Just saying.
Literally walked
I don't
in.
know what's true or not anymore.
We literally, when I was in a CD, they used to have a dive unit.
Okay.
And I went with a bunch of the divers, and they kind of set me up with the tanks. And we actually walked in off of Milford Beach. And the water in Long Island is so murky that once you got in, you couldn't see more than 5 feet.
Yeah.
But it was the first time underwater, and they tell you, don't hold your breath. Well, natural thing when you go that deep underwater is to hold your breath. Yeah. And the first time you take a breath, you go, wow, this is cool, dude. I could breathe under here. But,
that's cool. That's on my bucket list. I want to go scuba diving.
Yep.
You've never been?
No.
It's fucking good.
We almost did when I was just down in Curacao for work, and we just didn't have the time to do it. That was
so cool.
Right next to the resort we were at was a spot that did it.
I can hook you up with a diving instructor. We got a guy in Southington who's a member, who's a diving instructor.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust the Southington people.
He goes everywhere.
I'm kidding.
They probably use Nikon camera.
All that stuff.
Listen, when you're under there, you cannot help but hear doo-doo. It happened to me. I'm like,
he's not as cool as Bill, but he's pretty cool.
Listen, after this, no one's as cool as Bill. Like,
I got nothing.
I decided I'm going to have fun in life, so I'm doing it.
No,
amen.
That is fantastic, man, and honestly inspiring. Like, fuck it. Like, you want to do it. There's a fucking way.
I look at my stuff and I'm like, damn, I'm a fucking slacker.
I feel like I've done some pretty cool shit, but I'm like, I
cruise ship once. I smoked a cigar on that bitch.
Hey, Port Jeff don't count.
Says who?
Says Bill.
When I jumped off, I swam and I got back on. How about that? And I drove my car off before the fucking lip went down to them.
Then it was the stunt guy at Dukes of Hazzard.
There you go.
This was awesome.
It was
fucking great.
Definitely want to thank you for sitting down with us and
thank you. I had a
doing
good time.
this, and this is really fun.
Seemed to have dominated the whole conversation.
That's awesome. That's what we want to hear about you, Bill.
That's the point. We want to highlight you and everything, in your life and all that kind of stuff. So,
well, I could add this to my list of things I've done.
Yeah, now you're on a podcast too. You're infamously immortal. Once it hits the internet, it's there for life. So,
oh God.
No, Bill, thank you. This has been awesome.
I had a great
time.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Bill.
I think we're just gonna. We're just gonna stop. Continue drinking. Maybe play some darts. Smoke some more cigars.
Love it.
Let Bill smoke his cigar. And this has been the Ash Chat podcast. Thank you everyone for joining us on this journey and listening. And we will be back sooner than later. We're gonna keep this going on a more regular basis.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And thank you all for listening. And if you're in town, if you're in Connecticut,
hold on. We do have some big news that we forgot to share. You can let that roll. That's actually a good beat. Do you care on sharing the news? The text that we got?
No, this is your baby. Let's do it.
So, everyone knows that we go to the Barn Smoker every year, and we became great friends with Jonathan Foster. And Jonathan Foster is the owner of Dunn Foster's
farm, tobacco farm. Who does
everything for everyone. Arturo Fuente.
Well, I mean, it's basically the Connecticut farm. I mean,
Connecticut farm.
He is the Connecticut
Broadleaf,
rapper
all that
guy.
shit.
He's the dude.
He is away, and he sent me a text and said, and I sent him, this would be a cool rapper, Dunn Foster, and, Alma de Hombre for our blend, which he wanted to keep his innards, which was the binder and the filler, with his stuff. And he said, what kind of rapper would you want to go with? And I said, Connecticut Broadleaf. I want something strong for the first thing.
Yep.
He went out, said the cigars were aging, and he sent me a picture with our logo on the fucking cigar already. So it is coming next week.
Sticks
It'll
around
be
the way.
here. The first batch is here.
Sticks around the way.
So the
That's
next
cool.
podcast is going to be.
We're gonna be smoking those bitches.
Smoking our shit.
We're gonna be smoking our shit, and then we had Phil here yesterday, and I said, hey, tell Nick to stop fucking around. We already got Dunn Foster with our first blend. We need him to tweak our next blend. Let's go. And he goes, that's a fucking great idea. So we're doing big things. Let's get it popping. I'm the hombre in the house. We're gonna get it popping.
Make it move, baby.
I don't know how else better to end
You
this
can't
than
end it.
just
You
say
can't end it better than that. Let's go.
goodbye and good night.
Goodbye
Thank you, fellas.
and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Phil.